Today we are making these pillowy, soft and crispy Medu Vadas or Sambar Vadas. I know this is my third video on Medu Vada, but trust me, this method will bring the best and the fluffiest texture, so let's begin cooking. 15 to 20 vadas take 1 cup of sabut urad. You have to take the whole variety of urad. The split variety is not ideal for the best result. We will add it to a bowl. Also, the fresher the stock, the better the result will be. The dal shouldn't be very old. You have to wash it a couple of times or until the water comes out clear. Here I have washed it thrice. Now we will add fresh water and soak it for about 4 to 5 hours. If you want the vada to be super crispy, then you can also add 1 tablespoon of rice to this. After 4 hours you can see the dal is soaked. Now to grind this, here I have taken wet grinder. This gives the best result guys, as it adds air while grinding the dal and it doesn't let the dal heat up. So first I am adding some water to moisten the stones, then we will add the dal a little at a time so that it doesn't clog up. Do also add some water every now and then. If you want to make it in a normal mixer grinder, that is totally possible. Just make it in very small batches. I mean, grind it in very small batches. Use ice cold water to blend the dal, and after grinding it, whip it for a good 10 minutes using a whisk or your hands to add air to the dal, or until the dal becomes double in volume. Basically, you have to take care of 2 things. First, don't let the dal heat up. Second, you have to make it fluffy. Every now and then when you are grinding in a wet grinder like this one, do break the flow with the spatula so that it grinds evenly. Guys, the wet grinder grinds in very low speed, so it doesn't let the dal heat up and it adds air. That makes the vada super fluffy. You can see the before and after. It has increased in volume a lot. Now our dal is done. It is super cloudy and fluffy. Let me stop this and we'll take the stones out. To flavor the vada, here I have taken 1 tablespoon of coriander leaves, 2 to 3 tablespoons of chopped fresh coconut. I've also added some freshly cracked pepper. This brings a very nice flavor. 1 teaspoon of jeera and salt to taste. To flavor this, you can also add some onion, curry leaves, hing and all. I've kept it simple. Now you have to be careful in mixing it. Just one direction. Keep it simple. We don't want the air to come out. Mix it with light hands. Everything is mixed with the dal. Now we will wet our hands in some water, both the hands guys. After that, take a little bit of the dal mixture and pass it on the other hand. Repeat it a couple of times so that we can make a ball. Then with one finger make a hole in the center. Here's our vada done. Now carefully drop this into hot oil. Make sure your palms aren't wet and dripping, otherwise that water will go into the hot oil and it will splatter. Just the finger needs to be wet. Similarly, I am making more. The process is very simple. Just that you have to be careful. Few more things to take care guys. Many videos suggest that you have to keep the flame medium or low. For this recipe, I will highly suggest you to keep the flame high and the oil temperature needs to be hot. I mean very hot as well, because the fresh vada doesn't get a lot of color. Fermented batter does get a lot of color if the dal is soaked for a lot of time or if it has left for fermenting for a lot of time. And if the flame is not very hot or the oil is not very hot, then the vada takes a lot of time to cook and it drinks up the oil. It doesn't soak the oil, it drinks the oil. So you have to be careful with the temperature of oil. Here the first batch is done, so I am taking them out. You can see such a beautiful color on them, isn't it? Here I am frying the second batch and you can see the difference in color on the vadas. The first 2 that we added have a lot of color and the third and the fourth one doesn't have a lot of color. So keep the flame high, they get a lot of color initially only. If you fry a lot, then they will drink up the oil. One more thing guys, few videos say that if you cook it on high heat then they will remain raw from center. That is not true if the dal batter is really well whipped, like we did today. Here all the vadas are done. See the texture now. Just like a pillow guys, so soft these are. If you press them hard, they don't spring back. So how was the recipe guys? If you enjoyed it, give it a like and share it with your friends. If you did not like it, click the dislike button. I hope to see you soon with one more recipe. That's all for today. Bye, take care, happy cooking.